This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Now, back to the interview from a few minutes ago with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The best of the Morning X.
99X.
The Morning X, Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. Many have died there. This man has not. He's back to tell about it. Matt Dickinson's got a new book out, The Other Side of Everest.
Tell us about climbing down Mount Everest.
Anybody who's been up a mountain knows that coming down is actually one of the hardest parts. And in fact, 70% of people who die on Mount Everest die trying to get off the mountain because they've given everything to reach the top. You know, they've reached the top of the mountain, they've had this great euphoric burst, and then they just haven't got anything left to get down. And on our route down, we got into a nightmare descent. And with no fluid and no food, we were in serious trouble. But luckily, we just about...
You can't ever just, slide.
No, wouldn't that be great if you could just take a little plastic bag and glissade down?
Zip on down.
Just this one stretch.
Yeah, that's right.
Get some more.
We're talking to Matt Dickinson, the author of The Other Side of Everest. Mike?
Yes, sir.
You're on.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hi, Mike. How are you?
Good, Mike, good. I had a question. I understand the gentleman next year is going to attempt to climb Everest and without oxygen and then spend the night on the summit. He turned this year. What's your feelings? You think that's possible?
I'll tell you what, Mike, it's superhuman, but some people have actually climbed Mount Everest without oxygen. And in fact, this season, a Nepali person from Kathmandu actually spent 21 hours on the summit of Everest. So
These
someone
people have a death wish.
Yeah, he may have had a death wish, and that set a new world record. So the person that you're talking about is going to have to go one step further than that and spend 24 hours to set a new record.
How long were you up there?
We were up there for less than 1 hour, and even that we felt we were pushing our luck.
You want to get your money's worth.
Yeah, you do. That's right. Yeah,
Brent?
Yeah.
Good morning. I think you might have answered this, but I was wondering how you felt about corporate expeditions going up the mountain. It seems like with the amount of people trying now, maybe that's the last people we need going up the mountains.
Well, this is a good point, Brett. You know, Brent, people on Everest now have less experience than before. The corporate expeditions are very controversial, but my feeling about them actually is that I don't think that anybody has the right to tell someone that they can't climb Mount Everest. You know, this mountain belongs to the planet. It belongs to humanity. It shouldn't be the preserve just of the super elite climbers. That's not the question. I don't have a problem about who's going to Everest or about the fact they're paying for it. The problem I have is that the competition to get people to the top is the dangerous thing. And that's what means that these expedition leaders are pushing so hard to get their clients to the top that they put people's lives in danger. And I think that is the difficult thing.
How many men and or women were in your group?
We had 11 Western climbers and 10 Sherpas.
Were there any, whenever you have a group of people like that, and especially when you're under situations of duress, it's very easy for personalities to start clashing.
Oh, yeah,
and,
you would
and
think.
Various characteristics of people's personalities come out. Were there those kind of clashes?
You know, when you spend 3 months with a small group of people in a very intense situation with a lot of stress, inevitably people flare up. And we had very oddball characters. We had this actor, Brian Blessed, with us. I mean, he's like the best way I can describe him, he's like a sort of Orson Welles on speed. Now, this guy never stops talking, and that drove some people mad.
Throw him off the mountain?
Well, some people wanted to. Actually, he got altitude sickness and had to go back. But yeah, personality conflicts come in. The place is designed to stretch you right to the limit, and sometimes people break.
The book is very intriguing. You should pick it up. It's called The Other Side of Everest. Matt Dickinson is his name.
How much after this whole thing was over, were you hospitalized? How did you recover?
I had a very small amount of frostbite on a couple of fingers, and I didn't need to go to hospital. But the main thing is that you lose all this weight. So the chemistry of your body is completely altered. Your body's actually started to consume itself on Everest.
It's
atrophying, and I lost 20 pounds. And that was quite a lot of my body weight, and I could actually physically encompass the tops of my thighs with the outstretched fingers of my two hands. To give you an idea, I was like a stick man. I was the slimmest, slenderest I've ever been. And it took me 3 months to get back to body weight and to sort out get myself back into physical shape.
Matt, one final question. Would you do it again?
I'm never going back to Everest. You know, it was a fascinating experience. And you know,
once is enough.
Yeah,
once enough.
What's weird is like, because here's 3 months of your life, you train for Lord knows how many months, yet there are guys who say, well, this is my 5th climb up.
I know.
There are people who do it
It's
4 or 5
unbelievable.
times.
How do they do that?
That's
Why do they
That's
do
a
that?
one-timer.
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's extraordinary.
Why
This
would
has
you
been-
not do it where all those other guys,
Why? I mean, the obvious.
Well, you know, I thought it was the most amazing experience of my life, but I can't beat that experience. Everything worked for me on Everest.
It's not going to be
that time.
much different the next time around. It could be worse.
I would think it wouldn't be as good. Yeah, exactly. Is there anything on the planet now that you would like to conquer?
There are plenty of things. I want to make a movie. In fact, I want to make a feature film on Everest. That's my next big.
Wouldn't you have to go back there for that?
No, we'd shoot it in the studio.
Yeah. No, but I mean, is there something physical that you would like to accomplish?
Yeah, I'm interested in K2, the second highest mountain on the planet.
Now, where's that?
That's in Pakistan. But what I'd really love to do, having made more than 40 expedition films, is to go on an independent expedition to space. But, you know, I'm in my 30s. I've still got 25 years of work left in me, but I'm not sure I'm going to make it.
You'd have to climb a hell of a mountain to get up there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great stories, Matt. I'm sure we could talk to you for about 8 hours.
I know.
But,
It's
been
go buy the book.
fascinating.
Wild.
It's The Other Side of Everest. Matt, nice to meet you.
Thanks, Matt.
The best of the Morning X on 99X. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The original 99X.
What's up, guys? David Pollack here, former Georgia Bulldog, former analyst with College Game Day, and host of my new show, See Ball, Get Ball. I'm a defensive lineman. That's why that's the name. You see the ball, you go get it. We're going to dive deep into college football. We're going to break down film. We'll have bold takes, real conversations with the biggest names in the sport every single week. If you eat, sleep, and breathe college football like I do, man, I promise you, See Ball, Get Ball is for you. So do me a favor. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.